Well, first of all, Owen, thank you very much for speaking to Metro.co.uk about some very, very exciting episodes. You're quite new to the show, so what does it feel like to be thrust into the centre of one of its biggest weeks of the year straight off?
I feel so honoured, man, because this is my first acting job, and to be given a character with so much depth and so many connections to other people, I love it so much. And then to be told that I was going to be doing the Storm, I was a bit blown away. Like I came to this job from uni. So it was all a shock being on Hollyoaks, but then to be told I was going to be in the Storm, doing a stunt in the swim tank, I felt honoured.
And what was that stunt like to film? Because it must have been quite intense. Were you nervous about doing it, or did you just throw yourself right into it?
Oh, I was so nervous. I mean, the thought of acting whilst having to hold my breath was just like, how am I going to be able to do that? But everyone was great. They made it so easy for us. We had a day where we were getting used to the pool, getting used to breathing underwater with the stash cans, holding our breath. So we were really helped with it. The most difficult point was when there was one point where it was a 4 metre deep pool, and there was one point where I had to be right at the bottom of the pool with Lauren, and then we're having to wait for Mal to dive in, and then he had to dive in and tap me on the shoulder. But we had to drop our stash cans, they had to shout action, and then I had to just wait for Mal to dive in and tap me on the shoulder, and that was horrible. Like, I was just waiting there like, thinking I need to breathe. But it was a sick experience.
Yeah. And when you first saw the scenes as a finished result, because obviously being in there and filming it is a lot different to watching it. Were you proud of what you saw and what it actually looks like? Because it looks incredible.
Oh, I was so proud. I mean, when we were doing it, obviously I saw little clips on the playback, and it looked so good then. And then I see little bits when I went up to the editing suite, watch it back. I see little bits every now and then. But then seeing it there, that's the first time I've properly sat back and just taken it in. I'm so proud of everyone. They're doing such a good job. And I got told about the Hollyoaks stunts and how legendary they are. Now I've seen it for myself, how good it is.
You've done one now as well. Yeah, who knows what you'll be doing next year. But also you've come in as James Nightingale's son, which carries a hell of a lot of baggage with it. We've seen James reject Romeo, and he chose also not to jump in to save him, although he was clearly worried. What can you tell us is coming next for that what's a very complicated relationship?
The thing is, James and Romeo are so similar yet so different. They're so similar, they've got such depth to them that they've been hurt so much in the past, and they've both got walls that are just so high. And with their relationship, it's going to take one of them to lower their barriers, to break down the wall a little bit. But they're both so against doing that. So like, there's no telling where it's going to be. It will determine a good relationship will happen if one of them will just say, "This is me, and I want this."
And obviously, there's kind of a puppet master controlling all this in the form of Mac, who's kind of on the outskirts of all of this, looking sinister and evil. But how much does Romeo know about what Mac did, and how would you feel if he realised what Mac has done to James over all these years? Do you think he'd be defensive of James? Can you see a point where Romeo and Mac are going to clash?
Yeah, I mean, Romeo's very protective over family. Obviously he's got his sister and his mum, and he loves them to pieces, and he holds them close to his heart. So when he finds out about his dad, he's going to hold him close to his heart because it's blood, and he loves blood family. So when he hears what James has been through, it would hurt him so much because he knows pain. And then the thing is, he's seen James and he's heard what people have said about him. He's heard his mum say bad things about him all his life. And now it's his chance to just look at him, speak to him, and form his own opinion on him. And if James decides to open up about his past, then Romeo will love him for that.
And speaking of Romeo's love and affections, you've also got the other bubbling tension between himself and Lily, and he's obviously really fallen for Lily, and she's now in a state of, there's a clear, definite spark there, but she does love Prince. What are Romeo's feelings for Lily genuine, first of all, and do you think he genuinely believes that she is better off with Romeo than she is with Prince?
It's a difficult one because Prince is such a lovely character. He's such a nice guy, and he can't do anything wrong. But they're not made for each other. They're happy, they're content, but with Romeo, she could be more than content. Like they fit together so well. They're so perfect for each other. Romeo, all his life, he's had darkness. He's been in this darkness, And then when he sees Lily, it's just like it's like this overwhelming light of just like hope of what his life could be for the future. It's like a good thing could finally happen to him. And he wouldn't risk what he's risking. He wouldn't want to break up a marriage if it wasn't real. It's pure true love, and it's hope for Romeo.
And of course, we've seen them share a kiss. We've seen them almost die together. It's a very slippery slope in Hollyoaks. There's obviously more to come. But if and when Prince discovers the truth about what's kind of going on behind his back, Romeo's effectively trying to steal his wife, are you anticipating some big showdowns? Are you looking forward to filming the inevitable clash between them?
Prince is a happy character. He's a happy character, but he's got that side when he gets angry. I mean, Malik tells me about how he was when he first came into the show, and he was quite an aggressive character. So to see him go back to that, it'll be interesting to see how Romeo comes against that, because although Romeo knows he's in the wrong, all his life he's had to deal with his mum's punters. His mum's punters getting aggressive, so he's not a stranger to like a showdown. He's not a stranger to standing up to bigger men. So if Prince comes at him, he's not going to back down. He's going to defend himself, and it's going to bring back memories of the past. So it'll be blurred vision. It'll be interesting there.
It's gonna be kick off, isn't it? But, and finally, really, Prince and Lily have got a very passionate fan base. There are a lot of fans who are really rooting for them to stay together. Are you anticipating any sort of backlash from some of the viewers on this?
I've already had a little bit. I read comments every now and then. People not liking it. But I think at the minute, a lot of them are just seeing me intruding in a relationship. And obviously, if you see someone intruding in a relationship that you like, you're not going to like that person. But as storylines are developing, you're seeing more of Romeo's background, and you're seeing a softer side. You see with his mum, his sister, you're seeing that compassionate side, and you see that he's not a malicious character. He's not going out to hurt. And I'm hoping that people will start to sympathise with him and sort of see a soft side and think, you know what, maybe he's going for Lily because he loves her, and they'll see a connection more so.